I'm sure she'll just scrounge some from the lower deck.
City Council is debating putting railings on the flight.
Well, I hope they do something. Remember that child that fell off the deck last year?
Yes?
See if we need to get to the bridge tower. Tell Denver. The Weatherly Hotel. Oh, yes, we need to complete a quest there.
Yes.
Hotel.
Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem.
Oh, shut up, security. Hotel this way. Is this it? No, Flacken Sapnolls. Hotel this way.
You don't look so tough. Good to see you.
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel.
Here she is. Yeah.
Hey there.
Ah,
Welcome to the Weatherly Hotel. I'm your hostess, Vera Weatherly.
Have you heard of anything interesting gossip?
Well, I really shouldn't tell you, but have you heard about Polly Cantelli? He's addicted to chems. His poor wife Cindy is at her wit's end.
So, are there any funny rumors flying around Rivet City?
You haven't heard? Angela has the hots for Diego. But since he's a priest, he's been putting her off. One of these days, she's just going to jump his bones.
Are there any other rumors you've heard?
They say Mr. Lopez is losing it. He stands on the top of the bridge tower for hours at a time, just staring out over the city.
Vera, your nephew Brian lost his folks and needs a place to live.
Poor dear. I know what it's like to be alone. I'd love to take him in. Don't worry. I have the means to keep him fed and healthy, but most importantly, safe.
Frank would love his new home. I'll send him along shortly.
Oh, that's wonderful. If you ever wander back into Rivet City, why don't you check up on us? You're always welcome.
Okay, we got a
Did you
question.
hear about the fight in the Muddy Rudder last night? I'm Janice Kaplinsky, Chief Botanist. What do you need?
I'm looking for my father. Have you seen him?
I did see a man talking to Dr. Lee, but I really shouldn't be discussing it. She's already in a bad mood. I'd hate to make it worse. You should probably just talk to her about it.
Farewell.
So long.
Okay, we got one quest done. And we gain a
Hello?
quest.
yes?
Let's go to the lab and move the story along a little bit more.
Some noise. I can hardly sleep.
Maybe
No,
a
I'm
quick
fine.
fix.
Because we can get another.
Something that'll help you sleep.
Cindy's got all kinds of good
Cindy's
chems.
got all kinds of good chems.
I'll try that.
Science lab this way.
I heard that the city council is debating putting railings on the flight deck.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they do something.
Science lab here. Because we could get advance the story plus what the hell? You can see outside. Advance the story and get a quest.
Don't
Same
know about
time.
your runaway robot, and we don't care. This lab is dedicated to solving real problems.
Yes, yes, yes. But Dr. Lee,
Dr. Lee is trying to save lives, and your constant interruptions are interfering with those efforts. Now please, stand aside.
I'm sure the good doctor's work with water purification is fascinating. But if you only knew what was at stake, the technology in that android.
What's at stake? You won't tell me what's at stake. Vagaries and secrecy. A robot's a robot, Zimmer, no matter how shiny the paint job. Now, please.
Ignorance and facetiousness. That's all you people are good for. Shiny paint job indeed. You can't even imagine the Commonwealth's accomplishments.
You know, if you're so smart, maybe you could help us, But no, that never even crossed your mind. Go peddle your selfishness somewhere else.
Fine, but I'm not leaving. Not until I've spoken to Dr. Lee. I'll be here when she's ready to abandon her chemistry set and talk real science.
Suit yourself.
You there. What are you, some kind of lab assistant? No, you look a bit more weathered. Are you by any chance for hire?
Okay, this quest connects Fallout 4 to Fallout 3. This quest right here. That depends on what exactly we are talking about here.
To the point. I like that. Well, as it turns out, I've misplaced some very sensitive property.
I wonder if Dr. Zimmer is going to be in Fallout 4 since he's from the Commonwealth where Fallout 4 is based on. Missing property, what kind of property?
How do I put this in a way you'll understand? All you know of robots are those buckets of bolts, those Mr. Handshakers and whatnot. Well, that's not all a robot can be. You see, in the Commonwealth, we've made artificial persons, synthetic humanoids, programmed to think and feel and do whatever we need. And occasionally, they get confused and wander off.
Interesting. But what's this got to do with me exactly?
You're helping me retrieve this android, aren't you? I've tracked him this far. He's out there somewhere, in the capital wasteland. He must have done something drastic, like facial surgery and a mind wipe, or else I would have found him by now. It will be no easy task. He may not even realize he's an android. Don't upset him by talking with him. Just come get me immediately. I'll handle it.
I'll be compensated for my services, right?
Of course! I have at my disposal advanced technology from the Commonwealth. I'd be willing to share some of it with you. Just think, you'll be the envy of all your friends.
So I'd look into finding your android for you.
Excellent! Locate my android, and you won't be disappointed. Here, listen to this message he sent me. He's mocking me. I swear, I'll make him pay for that.
I need to know more about what I'm dealing with. What is this android exactly?
Forget everything you know about robots. Those buckets are mere children's toys compared to the real thing. Androids have fake skin and blood and are programmed to simulate human behavior, like breathing. They can even eat and digest food realistically.
So, any suggestions on finding this android?
Like I said, I suspect he's had facial reconstruction and possibly even a mind wipe. Search the offices of doctors or techies for android information. If he's come into contact with these people, there may be records. Start with Dr. Preston. He lives on this leaky boat. See if he knows anything. He's a doctor, after all. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy trying to ignore my surroundings.
So if this android wanders off, why would he want a new mind and face?
Maybe he didn't exactly wander off. Maybe he fled. Escaped captivity, as it were, if he began to misinterpret his situation. It's possible my android sought to forget his previous life. Wipe away all memory, all guilt. Trick himself into believing he really is human. So no, he may not be just an ordinary robot, but he's certainly not human, no matter how badly he wishes it so. I made him. I want him. End of story.
What a-hole. Why would an android feel guilt? Come on, Zimmer. What are you telling me?
By God, you're as annoying as you are clever. Very well. I'll tell you what you want to know, if it helps you locate my property. The duty of this particular unit was the hunting and capturing of other escaped androids. Yes, others have escaped. It's one of the side effects of having such an advanced AI. Machines start to think for themselves, fool themselves into believing they have rights. And so, this particular android may have believed he'd done something wrong, immoral, and wanted to forget those deeds. Satisfied now?
Nope. Okay, so if others have escaped, why are you coming after this one?
This particular android, designation A321, is different, special, the most advanced synthetic humanoid I've ever developed. The others, like my escort Armitage there, are all older models, easily replicated. Ah, but A321, it will take years to recreate him. So you see, this android must be located at all costs. The others are all acceptable losses, but A321, he is irreplaceable.
Is there any more we can talk about with it? There are rumors about a secret Commonwealth artificial intelligence project.
Yes, well, there are reasons we don't want our technology leaking into the wasteland. Which is why I've asked you to retrieve it. Which is what you should be doing right now. The longer you wait, the colder the trail becomes.
What do you want?
Good to see you. What do you need?
Looking for my father. Have you seen him?
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
What do you know about Dr. Zimmer?
He's from up north. He was bragging about how great it is up there. Yeah, great. They can't even keep tabs on their robots.
Okay, let's advance the story. There she is.
Look, this is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's son, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Wait, how do you know who I am? Have we met?
You were too young to remember, and I suppose James never spoke of me. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your parents many years ago. Now I run the science lab here in Rivet City. It was all I had left. When your mother died, your father decided to leave with you. He abandoned our work. We had no choice but to do the same.
Can you tell me more about my parents?
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
What was my father like back then?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again.
I never knew my mother. What can you tell me about her?
Yes, your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
Why did my mother die? What happened?
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
I understand. I'm sure you did everything you could.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Trying to find my father. Have you seen him?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault,